Arthur Bishop lives quietly on his boat in a coastal tourist town. His mornings are simple, coffee in hand, music playing, watching the sunrise over the waves. Before leaving, he arms a hidden explosive on his boat, a precaution against anyone foolish enough to try stealing it. He then rides his motorcycle to a seaside restaurant where everyone knows his face. The staff greet him warmly, and a waiter leads him to his usual seat with a clear view of the ocean. Not long after, a woman with Asian features approaches him. She says she's been searching for him and claims her employer wants him to eliminate 3 specific people, each death staged to look natural. She adds that this task suits his reputation, since he is a master at such work. But when Bishop shows no interest, she warns that she can expose him. He is supposed to be dead, after all, and if she reports the truth, every group that once hunted him will know he's alive. Bishop notices a few men with her, glaring with silent threats. Bishop asks to make a quick phone call, but instead uses his phone to snap her picture. The woman tries to pull a gun, but he intercepts her, striking before she can fire. Her men rush him, but Bishop fights them off with precision and skill. Glancing at a security screen nearby, he sees more enforcers approaching. Without hesitation, Bishop vaults over the restaurant's edge and catches a moving cable car. The woman and her men follow, hijacking a car full of tourists in pursuit. They search for him inside, but Bishop is already on top of the car. She fires at him, nearly hitting, but Bishop dives off, landing on an inflatable tourist raft below. That night, Bishop spies from a distance as 2 intruders search his boat. Without hesitation, he detonates the explosive he had armed earlier, destroying both the men and the vessel. He then heads to a dockyard, opens a shipping container, and burns his passport and every trace of his old identity. From there, Bishop travels to a remote island in Thailand, where an old acquaintance runs a small tourist lodge. She takes him to the same room he once stayed in. Behind a hidden panel, Bishop retrieves a bag filled with weapons, passports, and phones. He then begins digging into the woman's background, the one he photographed at the restaurant, and discovers she works under a man named Crane. Meanwhile, a woman named Gina shows up at the lodge seeking first aid, her hands bruised. The lodge owner notices and quietly asks if she needs more help, but Gina insists she only wants medical supplies. Later that evening, the lodge owner spots Gina on a nearby yacht, being assaulted. She urges Bishop to intervene. Bishop boards the yacht and orders the abuser to release Gina. The man refuses and raises a weapon, but Bishop strikes fast, killing him. He escorts Gina back to the lodge, telling the owner to give her a safe place to recover. Searching the yacht afterward, Bishop finds Gina's passport and phone. Inside the phone is his own photo. Suspicious, he destroys the yacht in an explosion. Back at the lodge, Bishop confronts Gina about why his image was on her device. She admits Crane forced her into a scheme. She runs a shelter for children rescued from traffickers, and Crane threatened their lives unless she cooperated. Her mission was to get close to Bishop, contact Crane once it was done, and nothing more. Realizing her situation, Bishop connects the dots. Crane orchestrated everything to trap him, using Gina as bait. While they speak, Bishop notices a boat approaching the island, armed men aboard, keeping watch and waiting for the next move. Bishop convinces Gina to keep pretending she is close to him, knowing it will keep suspicion away. Gina apologizes for betraying him, admitting she had no choice because the children's lives meant everything to her. Bishop responds with empathy, sharing that he grew up without parents. He reveals that he and Crane were once sold into a crime syndicate, but while Bishop managed to escape, Crane was left behind. The gang punished Crane for Bishop's escape, and from that day, Crane carried a deep hatred for him. Bishop then begins planning a way out for both himself and Gina. He gives her a watch, telling her to hold onto it until they can meet again. But the next morning, Crane's men abduct Gina. Bishop immediately contacts Crane, demanding to face him directly. When they meet, Bishop insists Gina be released. Crane coldly replies that she will only be freed once Bishop eliminates 3 targets. He hands Bishop a file with the details. The first is an African arms broker locked inside one of the world's most secure prisons. To ensure control, Crane also gives Bishop a GPS capsule to swallow after each assignment, so they can track his location. Bishop asks how he can be sure Gina is still alive. Crane explains that after every completed task, Bishop will be allowed 1 call with her. Her true location, however, will only be revealed after the final mission. Accepting the terms, Bishop travels to Malaysia to study the prison. It sits in the middle of the ocean, surrounded by cliffs rising nearly 100 meters, with shark-filled waters below. Escape seems impossible. Bishop researches the identities of various wanted men until he settles on one with a distinctive tattoo across his face. He forges documents under this man's name and gathers tools for his plan. The following day, he stages his capture, allowing himself to be arrested and sent into the prison. Bishop remembers Crane's warning: unless the death looks accidental, no rescue will come. Inside, Bishop observes that the arms dealer, known as Krill, always moves with guards. He questions another inmate, who reveals Krill's history. He once assassinated the Liberian president, and since then, countless inmates have tried and failed to kill him. Later, when one of the prisoners attempts to stab Krill, Bishop steps in and saves him. Grateful, Krill invites Bishop to dine with him. At the meal, Bishop cleverly poisons him, staging the death to appear as food poisoning. With the job done, Bishop triggers an explosion against the prison wall, creating his escape route. Before diving into the sea, he covers his body with a special chemical that repels sharks. Then he swallows the tracking capsule and jumps into the water. On board Crane's ship, the crew confirms his mission success after receiving the signal. Bishop is then allowed a brief video call with Gina, who tells him he has only 36 hours left to complete the next mission or she will be executed. Bishop reassures her that no one will harm her. Soon after, Crane sends the details of the second target. His name is Adrian, a billionaire with a public face in the mining industry but secretly running human trafficking operations. He resides in Australia on the 58th floor of a towering skyscraper. His residence is a fortress, built with concrete-reinforced walls, bulletproof doors, and every entry secured with sensors and biometric locks. Bishop poses as someone interested in renting the apartment just below the billionaires. Using this cover, he duplicates the keys and creates a detailed sketch of the man's floor plan. Afterward, he prepares special explosive charges disguised as glass panels. Wearing the uniform of a maintenance worker, he enters the flat using the copied keys. From there, he gains access to the billionaire's level, where a large glass-bottomed pool is located. Bishop secretly plants the charge, and when it detonates, the reinforced glass shatters, sending the billionaire plunging to his death. Later, during a video call, Gina cleverly tilts her camera to reveal the identification number of the vessel she's being held on. From that small detail, Bishop pinpoints her location. He heads there by helicopter, infiltrates the yacht, and silently eliminates several guards. But before he can free Gina, he is overpowered and captured. Crane confronts him, warning that any further disobedience will end their agreement. He then gives Bishop his final assignment: the elimination of a powerful American arms dealer named Max. Max had purchased an old Cold War monument built into a mountain, which secretly concealed a submarine dock beneath it. The submarines inside were fitted with intercontinental missiles, making the place heavily fortified. No intruder had ever entered and lived. Following Bishop's earlier kills, Max had heightened his defenses even further. Bishop is told he has 48 hours to finish the job. Studying Max's schedule, Bishop discovers a medical helicopter was ordered. He clings beneath it during its approach, slips inside, and installs a jammer to disable the surveillance system. He takes down the guards, then sets explosives to block Max's escape route. When security tries to rush Max into a reinforced panic room, Bishop detonates the elevator, forcing Max into the safe chamber, where Bishop is already waiting. Instead of killing him outright, Bishop proposes a deal. They fake Max's death to deceive Crane. This way, Crane would send his men to confirm the body, leaving himself exposed and vulnerable. The plan unfolds perfectly. Max's death is staged with a controlled blast, and his supposed body disappears into the submarine dock. Bishop is there waiting with oxygen tanks, helping Max resurface on a remote island. Bishop then calls Crane, demanding Gina's release. Crane refuses, insisting on proof of Max's corpse. Bishop replies that the body is inside the submarine dock. As Crane dispatches his men to verify, Bishop readies the place with hidden explosives. When they arrive, he ambushes and destroys them. Crane watches the massacre unfold on his monitors, realizing Bishop has turned the trap against him. Bishop storms Crane's vessel, cutting through his guards one by one. During the fight, Gina is wounded. Crane triggers the ship's self-destruct system, intending to kill them all. Bishop manages to reach Gina, placing her inside an emergency escape pod, which ejects moments before the massive explosion. Bishop stays behind, confronting Crane directly. After a brutal struggle, Bishop chains Crane down just before the boat erupts in flames. Later, salvage teams recover the wreck. Max and his men review the destruction, believing Bishop is gone. But in a twist, Gina is reunited with the children at her shelter, and to her shock, Bishop appears alive in front of her. Meanwhile, Max checks his surveillance footage and realizes the truth. Bishop had hidden in the ship's reinforced steel chamber, built for emergencies, allowing him to survive. And with that, the story comes to its end.